Taurus November 2016 Horoscope. Love, money, career. While the Sun left your work sector late last month, and this may have brought your annual focus on work matters to a close, with lucky Jupiter spending his first full month on his own and not due to leave until 2017, the real journey has just begun. Yet just as work forces settle and become more stable, Mars' return to your career sector on the 9th November will see the professional gods play a wild card you didn't see coming, with new professional opportunities not usually opening up until the new year. While this is good news professionally, this will require some juggling, with November always an important month for you, for both relationship and relationship matters, and as is usually the case, an overlap between the two. The Sun will always spend the first 3 weeks of November in your relationship sector, shining the solar spotlight on your relationships, and with Mercury here until the 13th November, there is also a need to make communication a priority. Yet having already invested so much, when the Sun leaves your relationship sector on the 22nd November, the relationship gods will move on, leaving you with a clear sense of what you want from your relationships and what they need from you, but the journey ahead in your hands. While this is the point where the solar spotlight will always shift onto your financial situation and money matters, it has been there for months now, to a point where by the time you move into the month you know what you want and you're determined to make it happen. Until Venus leaves your financial sector on the 12th November, it might be more about the what, but when Mercury and his smart head for money returns on the 13th November, it will very quickly become more about the when, where and how. In the meantime, a full moon in Taurus on the 15th November will bring a chance to ask, what about me? Taurus November 2016 Love Horoscope. With the Sun always spending the first 3 weeks of November in your relationship sector, the focus is always going to be on your relationships at this time of year, with the solar spotlight revealing the realities you might ignore at other times of the year. Yet, while this is normally the first chance in any year to turn your attention and focus onto your relationships, and because of that some wake-up calls are required, this year the focus has been on your relationships from almost the get-go. It was the months that Mars spent here, from January through to August, that has left you with a clear sense of what you're fighting for, while the weeks Venus recently spent here has left you with a clear sense of what you want from your relationships. Once the Sun leaves on the 22nd November, there will be no more focus on your relationships until September 2017, when lucky Jupiter will return to kick off your most important relationship year in over a decade. This makes the first 3 weeks of November a chance to take everything you have learned this year and commit to the journey ahead, while taking care of any relationship housekeeping still required to ensure you have an authentic starting point. Mercury, planet of communication, will remain in your relationships sector until the 13th November, doing what he can to help ensure the communication lines are open. The month will begin with the moon still in your relationships sector after a new moon on the last day of October, but will return from the 26th November to the 29th November to check on things. Yet while a major relationship focus comes to an end, there is a romantic thread running through the month that has no signs of running its course anytime soon. Taurus November 2016 Money Horoscope. That you will need to have your money hat on all month is no surprise, for with Saturn in your financial sector from December 2014 to December 2017, you've had it on all year and will need to keep it on for another year. However, every month has its seasons, and after the months that Mars spent here over the course of the year, you've had a chance to shake the tree, fire up your financial passions and fighting spirit, and establish what you're fighting for. When Mars finally left your financial sector at the end of September, he not only wrapped up his longest visit in 2 decades, but his first encounter with Saturn here in 28 years and last for another 28 years. That wasn't the case when Venus returned to pick up on where Mars left off, in your financial sector as you moved into 2016, and having aligned with Saturn in the early days of the year, For the first time in 28 years, they came together last month to do it again, this time for the last time for another 3 decades. This is important, for Venus fuels your financial confidence, desires and expectations, while Saturn gives you the willpower, determination and the power to move mountains if you have to, giving you an exceptional amount of power to turn financial desires into reality. Until Venus leaves on the 12th November, the focus needs to be on the what, knowing that Mercury's return on the 13th November will not only see a smart head for money kick in just a day later, but will bring the means to focus on the when, where and how. By the time the Sun returns to begin your annual financial review on the 22nd November, an enormous amount of water will have passed under the bridge. You'll have your head in the game, know what you want, and will be more than halfway to turning financial desires into reality. With Saturn moving into his final year in your financial sector next month, this is a chance to regroup as you begin to bring a massive quest to take your financial power back home. Taurus, November 2016 Career Horoscope. This should be a by-the-book month, the book that from past experience will tell you what you can expect at any given point in the year, except it's of no use to you this month. If you did things by the book, then on both the work and career fronts this would be a slow meander to the finishing line, with all the planetary activity in both your work and career fronts for the year over and only the momentum already gained keeping the wheels turning. To begin with, it will appear that the professional gods are only favoring work matters, with lucky Jupiter spending his first full month on his own in your work sector in over a decade. Stretched out in front of you is the most expansive and opportune year for job growth in over a decade, and with a parade of planets having moved through over the past 2 months, you're more than ready for the journey ahead. Journey it is, for here now until October 2017 and one his own until the Sun returns in September 2017, this is a long journey and you are now in the long haul phase. There should be no more surprises this year, yet that's exactly what you will get when Mars returns to your career sector on the 9th November, returning to shake things up on the career front, fuel your professional passions, fighting and competitive spirit, and make things happen. Not due to leave until the 19th November and Venus returning early next month to make his final days count. Career developments that don't usually open up until the new year, and even then not to this degree, are suddenly opening up in November. While Mars returns to your career sector every 2 years, it has been over a decade since he returned to find lucky Jupiter in your work sector, together able to completely transform your professional game. Decan 1 Taurus, November 2016. Despite some testing times this month, the overall story is definitely a good one. Thinking more about others will pay big dividends this month. If you keep your ego in check, then spiritual blessings await later in November 2016. You may even find your one true soulmate. Neptune sextile your Decan from September 2016 to January 2017 is most strongly affecting those born late in Taurus Decan 1 because of Neptune retrograde. It has a subtle but positive effect on your outlook on life. It is likely that you will feel more connected in a spiritual way to your friends and family, viewing yourself more a part of the larger collective than ever before. Sun opposite your Decan from October 22nd to November 2nd can be a difficult time because your ego may get in the way of achieving what you want. Competitors and enemies oppose your efforts and challenge who you are, so you have to fight to express your true identity and to reach your goals. You may have to tone down your self-assertion and think about what you are really trying to achieve, and if this is the best option for you. The October 30th new moon extends your testing solar transit until the November 29th new moon. Access to your higher mind will lead to spiritual enlightenment and hope about the future. You could make a new start in a spiritual direction in any area of life, from following your true calling to meeting your soulmate. Sun trine Neptune from October 31st to November 2nd increases your sensitivity to your environment and your empathy for others. Existing relationships will enjoy more spiritual closeness and bonding, tenderness and love. New relationships formed now could be with a sensitive or more spiritual type of partner, and may come from involvement in groups or clubs. Mars square your decan from November 8 to 23 creates a build-up of energy inside and a strong desire to assert yourself in an aggressive manner. This can result in frustration, anger and conflict. Difficulties in all relationships but especially love relationships can occur at this time if you force your desires onto other people. Release this hot energy safely through exercise, sport or self-gratification. Venus trine your decan from November 11 to 21 will take the rough edges of the above Mars transit. It makes this a more sensual and less hostile week or two. Your raw Marsy sex appeal can shine through while still keeping your manners. This very attractive blend makes this an ideal time for dating and for relationships in general. Venus sextile Neptune from November 18 to 21 arouses your sensual and caring side. This is a good time for passionate romantic encounters. You can enjoy increased sensitivity in sexual relations with your partner, and may discover imaginative ways to increase your erotic pleasure. Your increased magnetic allure may attract a tender and caring person, quite possibly a genuine soulmate or spiritual partner. Decan 2 Taurus November 2016. Relationships become the major theme this month, and at first they may not all go smoothly. You will soon gain the upper hand and can use this to your advantage at certain times listed below. Your sex drive may have peaked already when Mars joined Pluto in October. This month, Venus and Pluto combine to power up your more sensual and deeper affections for a secret or mystery lover. Pluto trine your decan this year gives you awesome personal power and influence. The extreme boost to your ego and confidence levels means you can make big advances in all areas of life. People will be drawn to your strong presence and charisma, and there is no bad karma in taking advantage of this. Important and powerful people will genuinely want to team up with you. Mercury opposite your decan from October 30 to November 6 brings conflict and tension into this busy time. Communications and mental activity are stimulated now, so it may be difficult to avoid arguments. It is you who has to think of others and seek a compromise, at least to settle things down before you push your agenda. Important decisions and negotiation should be avoided, and this is a bad time for bargaining, making business deals or signing contracts. Mercury sextile Pluto from November 1 to 4 adds depth and intensity to your thinking and conversations. More serious or mysterious topics will take up your attention, so this is a good time for study and research. The probing and penetrating nature of your mind can uncover secrets and plots. An excellent time to learn more about astrology or psychology. Sun opposite your decan from November 1 to 12 can be a difficult time because your ego may get in the way of achieving what you want. Competitors and enemies oppose your efforts and challenge who you are, so you have to fight to express your true identity and to reach your goals. You may have to tone down your self-assertion and think about what you are really trying to achieve, and if this is the best option for you. Sun sextile Pluto from November 5 to 9 increases your need to succeed. You will feel more determined and purposeful than usual to achieve your goals. Relationships are enhanced by a mysterious allure and increase your level of attractiveness. This can be sexual in nature, but it also gives you a tremendous amount of influence over other people. Once you become aware of this power and influence, it can feel like you are wearing a police uniform that only others can see. Venus trine your decan from November 20 to 29 should have you feeling and looking your best. This is a time of low stress when life flows smoothly with few cares or worries. Your loving attitude means that people respond with kindness and affection. Your calming influence earns admiration and popularity. Increased personal beauty makes this a great time for dating or spending quality time with a loved one. Shopping is favored and money matters should go well. Venus conjunct Pluto from November 23 to 26 dramatically increases your need for love and affection. You want to experience companionship at a deeper, more intense level. You will be wielding greater power to attract friends and lovers. Intense sexual experiences are likely with your partner. If single, then instant attraction could lead to a profound and karmic relationships. Mars square your decan from November 22 to December 7 creates a build-up of energy inside and a strong desire to assert yourself in an aggressive manner. This can result in frustration, anger and conflict. Difficulties in all relationships but especially love relationships can occur at this time if you force your desires onto other people. Release this hot energy safely through exercise, sport or self-gratification. Decan 3 Taurus November 2016. The tempo of your life should increase this month with most activity focused on relationships of all kinds. Sexy and romantic influences bookend more confrontational transits in November 2016. Work hard in the middle of the month and play hard at the beginning and end. Mars trine your decan from October 25 to November 10 gives an increase in energy levels, self-confidence and sexual desire that is well balanced and not aggressive or threatening to other people. This is a most favorable time to achieve your desires and to reach your goals. In all your relationships, love and professional, people warm to you and admire your directness and confidence. Mercury opposite your decan from November 5 to 13 brings conflict and tension into this busy time. Communications and mental activity are stimulated now, so it may be difficult to avoid arguments, but it is you who has to think of others and seek a compromise, at least to settle things down before you push your agenda. Important decisions and negotiation should be avoided, and this is a bad time for negotiating, making business deals or signing contracts. Sun opposite your decan from November 11 to 22 can be a difficult time because your ego may get in the way of achieving what you want. Competitors and enemies oppose your efforts and challenge who you are, so you have to fight to express your true identity and to reach your goals. You may have to tone down your self-assertion and think about what you are really trying to achieve, and if this is the best option for you. The November 14 full moon extends your sun transit until the November 29 new moon. During this waning phase of the moon you should feel more sensitive than usual and seek emotional nourishment from family and intimate friends. You may need a quiet place to retreat to if the demands of the outside world get too much for you in this fortnight. Venus trine your decan from November 28 to December 8 should have you feeling and looking your best. This is a time of low stress when life flows smoothly with few cares or worries. Your loving attitude means that people respond with kindness and affection. Your calming influence earns admiration and popularity. Increased personal beauty makes this a great time for dating or spending quality time with a loved one. Shopping is favored and money matters should go well.